عليك يا سيدي ومولاي يا أبا عبد الله، يا رحمة الله الواسعة ويا باب نجاة الأمة، مظلوم يا غريب كربلاء، يا مدرك الثار البدار، وصاحب الزمان come and help us, rescue us. شن على حرب عداك المغامر. They're fighting your cause, they're fighting you. They waged the war against your ancestors. فأت بها شعواء مرهوبة تقعد ليلا فوقها من غبار. Hasten your reappearance. يا صاحب العصر أترضى رحمه. Don't you see what's happening to us? People are committing sins. We're in contaminated society. عصارة الخمر علينا تدمر في فتية لها التقى شيمة. Come and reappear with a group of pious soldiers. ويا لثارات الحسين الشعار. And their slogan and motto is we will avenge the blood of Hussein. يا لثارات الحسين. ترضى 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 على الدار هجوم العدا. Oh صاحب الزمان. Don't you remember what happened to your mother, Fatima al-Zahra, when they raided your grandfather's house, Amir al-Mu'minin? وضموا الباب بجزل ونار. They burnt the house. ورض من فاطمة ضلعها. They broke the limb of Fatima al-Zahra. وحيدر يقاد جهرا قهارا. And your grandfather Amir al-Mu'minin was shackled. He was chained. His hands were cuffed. والطهر تدعو خلف أعدائها. And Fatima al-Zahra ran after them. She began to say, leave my husband, don't make my children orphans. يا قوم خلوا عن علي الفخايا يا فما سقوط الحياة ما صدرها. What about the miscarriage يا صاحب الزمان? What about her breasts يا صاحب الزمان when she was squeezed behind the door? فما سقوط الحامل ما صدرها ما وكزها ما عصرها بالجدار. What about when they began hitting her with the sheath of the sword? ما دفنها بالليل سرا وما. What about burying her at night? نبش الثرى منه يوم عنايا جحار. قد ورثت صاحب الزمان قد ورثت زينب من أمها. And Zainab inherited the calamities from her mother Fatima al-Zahra. كل الذي جرى عليها وصار. She inherited everything. وزادت البنت على يا أمها. There was extra. In addition to what happened to Fatima, what happened to Lady Zainab is that she was paraded from a city to a city. من دارها تهدى إلى شر الدار تستر باليمنى وجوها فإن they would cover their faces with their right hand, and if they need أعوازها الستر تمد اليسار. They would cover their faces and hair with their left hand. Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. والعاقبة للمتقين. قال الله في محكم كتابه يوم لا ينفع مال ولا بنون إلا من أتى الله بقلب سليم. آمنا بالله صدق الله العلي العظيم. Recite aloud صلوات.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
For the love of Lady Fatima al-Zahra, say صلوات.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
For the love of Amir al-Mu'mineen, a third louder صلوات.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that on the day of judgment, neither our wealth nor our children will avail us, except those people that come with a pure heart. Last night I spoke about death, and I conveyed to you, projected a very dreadful image of death. And I said that it will be an excruciating experience for the majority of us, because we have to cut and sever the ties and the attachment and the bond between us and this world. And now, what makes it easy, what makes death a pleasant experience for us, is to make our heart be occupied by God and only God. Al-qalbu haramullah. The heart is the sanctuary of God, and nothing else should occupy our heart other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we love our children, we have to love them for God. If we love our spouse, we have to love them for God. If we love our friends, our relatives, we have to do so for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the ultimate goal. One narration says that there are three different kinds of hearts. A heart that is afflicted with the love of this world. فَذَلِكَ عُرْضَةٌ لِلْبَلَاءِ. Such a person will be the target of tragedies, difficulties, problems. وَالْقَلْبُ الَّذِي مَشْغُولٌ بِالْعُقْبَةِ. And a heart that is preoccupied with the hereafter. And such people, سَيَنَالُونَ الدَّرَجَاتَ الْعُلَى. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will raise them in the most sublime levels of paradise. وَالْقَلْبُ الْمَشْغُولُ بِالْمَوْلَى. And the heart that is occupied with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Such people will be granted sublime levels in paradise, and will both gain the benefits of this world and the benefits of the second world. Our narrations view this world with two different perspectives. One is the negative perspective, and the other is the positive perspective. One view says that this world is jifah, وَطُلَّابُهَا كِلَابٌ. It's like a dead corpse. It's like a dead animal's corpse. وَطُلَّابُهَا كِلَابٌ. And those people that are in pursuit of the desires of this world are dogs. One day the Prophet of Islam, he goes to the house of his daughter Fatima al-Zahra. He finds that she had placed a new curtain that looks nice. He goes back to the mosque. And then he sends Imam al-Hasan Mustafa to talk to his mother. He says to her, remove the curtain because I liked it. And this way attachment will be formed between me and this world. And this is something that I do not want to do. This is something that I do not want to happen. The Prophet had a cloak, a abaya, that he used to sleep on and to cover himself with. One day, one of his wives used the cloak and folded it so that the Prophet can rest comfortably. The Prophet rested that night, and he woke up a little bit late for Salatul Layl. When he woke up, he said, don't do it. Because when I'm comfortable, I will not wake up early for Salatul Layl. This would make me sleep more. We had a scholar who used to sleep on the floor and not on the mattress. When he was told to sleep on at least blanket, he would say, no, if I sleep on a mattress, it will be comfortable. I would like to sleep more. And the tradition that I narrated to you the other night, if we sleep a lot in this world, because on average a person sleeps for 20 hours, for 8 hours, when we reach the age of 60, if we add it up together, that's more than 20% of our life, 30% of our life spent in sleeping. 30% of our life spent while we're asleep. And a person that sleeps a lot on the Day of Judgment will be impoverished, will be poor. That's why he told his wife not to do it again. Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam was craving for meat. As you know, the Imam didn't eat meat, except for one day during the Eid. Because he said, on this day, I am sure that all the Muslims have meat to eat. That's why he told Imam al-Hasan Mustafa on Eid to bring him meat. He wanted to eat, drink iftar. When he served the food, a beggar came knocking the door. Imam al-Hasan opened the door. Who is it? A beggar in need of food or help. The Imam said, give him the food. Imam al-Hasan Mustafa said, but you only eat once a year. Eat the food and I'll give him something else. I'll give him money. He said, no. I fear that on the Day of Judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will tell me, أَذْهَبْتُمْ طَيِّبَاتِكُمْ فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا. You fulfilled your desires. You satisfied your desires in this world. Now don't come on the Day of Judgment asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to take you to paradise. The ultimate desires will be satisfied there because you already satisfied all your desires in this life. Why do the progeny of the Prophet of Islam, Imam Ali alayhi salam, Fatima al-Zahra, Imam al-Hasan Mustafa, Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, teach us not to be attached to this world? Because they want us to reduce our love and attachment to this world. The narration says, حُبُّ الدُّنْيَا رَأْسُ كُلِّ خَطِيئَةٍ. The love of this world is the source and origin for every sin. And the more attachments and the more the bond, the stronger the bond is, the more problematic it will be on the Day of Judgment. نَجَى الْمُخِفُّونَ. If you're not burdened with a lot of sins, a lot of satisfaction of a lot of desires, you'll be light on the Day of Judgment and enter paradise without a lot of problems. We have a narration that says on the Day of Judgment, a group of people that were poor, impoverished, will go to paradise before the rest. Before Judgment Day starts, they will enter paradise. The angels of paradise will be surprised to see people that they didn't judge, they didn't see, they didn't clear when they entered paradise. So they will ask those people, how did you enter paradise? And why did you enter paradise? They will tell them, did you give us anything in this world so that you would judge us? They're the poor people. They didn't have money. They're light. They won't be afflicted with baggage on the Day of Judgment to carry, they will enter paradise easily. One day the Prophet of Islam, he summoned a group of his companions, including Amir al-Mu'mineen, Salman, Abu Dhar, Umar, Abu Bakr, and others. He gave each and every one of them 1 golden dinar. Then he said to them, go, do what